Hey, what's up YouTube? This is Game on Cloud 9 here, and I'm here to bring you guys a new Bleach Manga 504 prediction. And this week's chapter of Bleach came out a bit early, just like the Naruto and the One Piece chapter did. But as soon as I saw Kenpachi in this chapter, I knew the chapter was going to be good. I enjoyed it just like I enjoyed, of course, the previous chapters in this war arc. I mean, Kenpachi just talking about how he killed the Star Knights. I mean, I don't know. This really makes me think Kenpachi. I mean, we all know Kenpachi's beast, but it just furthers my reasons for why I think Kenpachi is a special war potential. Of course, they never confirmed it yet. We still don't really know as far as if he's actually a war potential or not. But, I mean, he's the only one that we know killing Star Knights. I mean, who else have we seen? Ichigo still got to make it there. Ichigo in this week's chapter, we see him slashing around in the cage in the jail that Kurige caught him in, and he doesn't know how to get out of there, which actually, in my opinion, I feel as though this would be a good time for Ichigo to use Jinten, and maybe that's what Kubo is planning on doing with this. I know a lot of us are out there, or a lot of you guys are out there are probably thinking that, you know, whoever came up to Urahara and stopped Kurige is probably going to be the one to free Ichigo from that cage, which is also a good possibility. But then at the same time, who knows? Ichigo may be the one to free himself from the cage, from the cage itself. But maybe he just has to meditate. Maybe Zangetsu will show him a move that will be capable of releasing from that. Maybe a move that's stronger than Getsuga Tensho. Maybe a move that has different properties that maybe is perfect to cut through moves like that. I mean, you never know. I really think this is a good opportunity for Kubo to give Ichigo just one new thing, because what else can Ichigo do in that cage? I mean, really, this is the perfect time for Jinten. This is the perfect time for Ichigo to sit down, meditate with his sword, and try to figure a way out of the cage and use his head. So, you know, definitely think that's a good possibility of happening. Either maybe Grimmjow makes an appearance, well, that's exactly who I think it is, who walked up to Urahara. So either Grimmjow makes an appearance, or we see Ichigo do Jinten and escape. I don't think much else is really going to happen between that, because I think, you know, we're either going to see an appearance from him, like Grimmjow, or, you know, a new ability from Ichigo. That's all I can see happening from this situation that Ichigo is in. But of course, we also saw towards the end of the chapter Yamamoto come to the rescue when we saw Hisagi getting like thrashed around and tossed around by one of the Vandenreich members or Sternritter members named Overkill. Now, Overkill, seeing as far as the weapon that he uses, it looks as though it's familiar to the weapon that we saw Sasakibe speared with earlier, like in the beginning of this arc. So definitely, also we also hear Overkill talk about how he has a Bankai when Yamamoto makes an appearance, and that as I guess his normal abilities enable him to get stronger. The more enemies that he kills, the stronger he gets. So he stole Sasakibe's Bankai. We know this guy probably is like uber powerful, so I'm definitely looking forward to his fight with Yamamoto, especially since the chances are he has Sasakibe's Bankai, because he talks about how he has his subordinates' Bankai. Now, I mean, all the people in the Soul Society are technically Yamamoto's subordinates, but Yamamoto, and you know, fighting against this guy, there's got to be a reason why he picked this Star Knight out of all the rest of the other Star Knights or Sternritter members. So definitely, I'm looking forward to seeing what this guy has to offer against Yamamoto. What challenge we're gonna see, you know, as far as like Yamamoto, is he gonna struggle a little bit, or is it gonna be really quick? You know, because definitely Yamamoto looks pissed every time we see Yamamoto now. You know, if you look at his eyes, I mean, they're like straight up open. Look like he has a serious look on his face, like he's not kidding, he's not playing around. You know, so definitely, I could see this being a thing where he just does like one strike and like kills this Vandenreich member. You know, so. You know, I am looking forward to seeing what this guy has to offer. Also, I'm pretty sure now we can finally find out what Sasakibe's Bankai, since he, you know, since he probably does have his Bankai. So I'm interested in seeing what Sasakibe did have, you know, in like under his sleeve. Like, what could he actually use? What could he actually do? Since we never knew what Sasakibe could do. So as for next week, what I think is going to happen, maybe we'll see more dialogue between Yamamoto and Overkill. Maybe we'll go back to Kenpachi later on in the chapter, or we may flash over to Urahara. I don't really see us going much else other than that. You know, Byakuya and all that, I think we'll probably see that more in a few weeks. Like, I mean, because likelihood is Byakuya is dead. Rukia, Renji, they're knocked out. You know, so I definitely think that we're gonna, like, maybe Kubo was gonna take the perspective of letting us see this fight between Yamamoto and Overkill right now, since that's where we left at the end of the chapter. and maybe, you know, later on Kenpachi and Buckbeard we'll see a little bit later. Only thing I'm hoping is that the whole fight between Kenpachi and Buckbeard doesn't get skipped, because I kind of have that feeling that there is a chance that that may happen, that we may just see Kenpachi laying on the ground, you know, bleeding out, and Buckbeard just walking away from him or something, and you know, something along those lines. So hopefully that's not the case. Hopefully that Kubo does go back to it, but I just don't see that happening next chapter. I definitely see Yamamoto and Overkill fighting a little bit in next week's chapter, and maybe Overkill using Sasakibe's Bankai. But anyway, those are my thoughts on this week's chapter and what I think is going to happen next week. Let me know, you guys, what you guys think is going to happen next week, and what you thought of this week's chapter overall. So don't forget to rate this video, guys. If you liked this video, please put a thumbs up. If you didn't like it, you can put a thumbs down. The choice is yours, guys. Also, don't forget to subscribe if you enjoy my content and you want to see more. Anyway, thank you for watching, and I'll see you later.